I'm not a physician, so I'm not here to talk about vitamins or medicines or anything like that. I'm here today to talk about balance. And I've talked about balance in the past. I'm not sure if it was in the broadcast format or if it was prior to the shutdowns, but I have talked about balance. I think that balance is very, very important. And I'll tell you why. Balance is the thing that keeps everything else in check. You may have noticed, life has a way of getting out of balance sometimes. And again, in our sermon time, we're going to talk about one of the chief ways that it can get out of balance for a lot of people, right? Through an intimate relationship like marriage. But not even outside of marriage. Life can become unbalanced when the bills outweigh the income. Life can become unbalanced when our health fails. We get the flu, or we get COVID, or we get, any chronic disease like multiple sclerosis, which is something I've dealt with for 10 years or so now. Life can become out of balance in a number of different ways. Life can get out of balance if you lose your temper. Life can get out of balance if you say the wrong thing. These days, have mercy, life can get out of balance if you said the wrong thing on the internet 15 years ago. And that can come back and get you, right? Life has all sorts of ways that it can become out of balance. But luckily, the Lord knows this about us. And so he gave us this little prescription, this list of things to do to stay healthy physically. And our resident doctors have gone over this many times. The New Start program, right? Nutrition, exercise, water, sunlight, temperance, air, and rest. And then that last T is where we find balance, because that last T stands for trust in God. So when the bills outweigh the income, and you feel nervous about it and scared and maybe even some shame, right? I've failed. I can't pay everything I need to pay. There's the Lord standing right next to you. There's the Lord very aware of every penny in your bank account. There's the Lord willing to remind you in those moments that he is preparing a kingdom for you where gold is not used to pay the bills. Gold is pavement. Gold is the material of the streets. So we will no longer hoard wealth for the purposes of paying bills. Instead, we will walk on this symbol of earthly wealth, because we now live in a kingdom that doesn't operate in the same ways. The Lord is here when you lose someone. You lose a parent. You lose a friend. Have mercy, you lose a child. The Lord is there to remind you he is making a kingdom where we can all live again and we can all live forever. He's there to remind us that there is no such thing as goodbye forever in Jesus Christ. When we feel out of balance because we're lonely, everybody has a partner except me. Everybody's married except me. I'm all alone. There's the Lord to bring us back into balance. He says, that's not true. I go before you. I stand with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. And I'm bringing you to a land where all flesh will come and worship before me on every new moon and every Sabbath. We'll spend eternity not alone. The Lord is the center of balance. He's the source of balance. And he knows that when we get out of balance emotionally, we're going to become out of balance physically as well. He wants to step into these moments and say, no, my child. Come back to me. Have balance. Have peace. And have faith that what you're going through right now is just temporary. There's a better day coming, and there's a better land coming as well. I just want to encourage everybody out there to remember this, because our physical health and our spiritual health and our mental health are all so intimately connected that when one becomes out of balance, the rest follow. So when we feel that, when we feel ourselves being pulled in 8 different directions, or we feel our soul and our emotions being sucked downward in the heaviness of life, I pray you will remember that the Lord is right there. And I pray that he will be powerful and loud enough to penetrate the imbalance of the moment, and instead to knit our hearts back together. Bring us comfort where right now we only feel discomfort. And as he brings all these pieces of our life back into balance, watch as everything improves. Watch as your health improves. Watch as your demeanor improves. Watch as the relationships in your life improve. Because when things are in harmony, when they're in balance, the power of the Lord is on full display, right? In a world that seeks to unbalance us every waking moment of every day, if we can live that Enoch experience of just being in harmony with God and in balance in a world full of imbalance, the world will take notice. And hallelujah, we'll probably see God a little bit more clearly as well. So that is the health spotlight for this week. I pray that we can find peace in the balance that only comes from God. And then come back next week and we'll have actual physicians to teach us the physical ways to stay healthy as well.